I remember the first time we heard that signal, a sequence of pulses echoing in the silence of space. My name is Ethan, part of a dedicated team of astrophysicists stationed at the Orbital Observatory on Mars. The hum of the observatory was a comforting backdrop, familiar routines, punctuated by the occasional flare of excitement from a new discovery. Each day melded into the next, monitoring cosmic phenomena and searching for signs of life beyond our solar system. But that day was different. The signal cut through the monotony like a blade, sharp and insistent. At first we dismissed it as a mere anomaly, a glitch in the mass of data we combed through daily. Yet, as we analyzed the waveform, our initial skepticism transformed into intrigue. It was a pattern, a sequence that repeated with an unsettling regularity. As we delved deeper, our excitement turned to apprehension. The message revealed dark secrets from a forgotten mission, one that had ventured to Proxima Centauri b decades ago. I could feel the tension in the control room as my colleagues exchanged glances, their faces painted with unease. What had happened to those explorers? The more we uncovered, the clearer it became. We were not alone. I felt a chill creep along my spine as the implications sank in. Our routine was shattered, replaced by a gnawing fear of the unknown. The signal was unmistakably human, yet the content hinted at something ominous. Each pulse seemed to echo a warning, a plea for help from a world we had nearly forgotten. I watched as Dr. Harper, our lead scientist, clenched her jaw, her mind racing through possibilities. The observatory buzzed with urgency as we raced against time to decode the message. Every keystroke felt heavy with consequence, and the stakes grew higher. What had they encountered? What dangers lurked on Proxima Centauri b? I could sense the mounting pressure. The fate of humanity might hinge on our understanding of this cryptic warning. As I stared at the monitor, the signal pulsed, rhythmically, almost tauntingly. I felt a mix of dread and exhilaration. This was what we had trained for, yet it was unlike anything I had ever imagined. The air in the control room thickened with tension, and I could almost hear the collective heartbeat of my team, quickening with every passing moment. The mystery of Proxima Centauri b was calling to us, and we had to answer. The race had begun, and with it, the dawning realization that the cosmos could hold secrets far darker than we had ever anticipated. The Orbital Observatory was a marvel of human ingenuity, a sprawling complex designed to pierce the veil of the cosmos. Its walls, lined with holographic screens displaying star charts and data streams, pulsed with the life of 1,000 experiments. As I moved through the facility, the hum of machinery accompanied the fervent discussions of my colleagues, each of us driven by a shared desire to uncover the mysteries of the universe. Dr. Harper, a brilliant astrophysicist with a reputation for her groundbreaking work, was a mentor to many of us. Her passion for discovery was infectious, yet I could see the shadows of doubt creeping into her normally confident demeanor. She had once led a mission to Proxima Centauri b herself, and the weight of that past loomed over her now like a specter. Then there was Malik, our tech specialist, whose wit provided levity in even the direst situations. His expertise in signal processing had been instrumental in decoding the signal, but I could see the worry etched on his brow. What if this is a warning? What if we're opening a Pandora's box? He pondered aloud, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Our interactions were charged with urgency as we pooled our knowledge, forming a tight-knit group navigating the unknown. Each piece of information we uncovered about the mission to Proxima Centauri b painted a more disturbing picture. The technology we developed to explore the stars could also lead to our undoing, and the realization gnawed at us. As we prepared for a potential journey to uncover the truth, the stakes felt impossibly high. The cosmos, once a realm of wonder, had transformed into a landscape fraught with peril. The mysteries of Proxima Centauri b were no longer just scientific puzzles. They were potential threats to our very existence. The days that followed the discovery of the signal blurred into a whirlwind of frantic analysis and mounting dread. The more we scrutinized the data, the deeper the mystery of Proxima Centauri b became. Each new revelation added layers to our understanding, but they also intensified the sense of urgency that gripped the observatory. Dr. Harper convened a meeting, her voice steady despite the storm brewing in her eyes. "We have to prioritize our investigation," she declared, her tone leaving no room for debate. The team rallied, though unease simmered beneath the surface. Malik worked tirelessly at his station, deciphering fragments of the signal that hinted at a catastrophic event on the planet. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a waveform on his screen. "These fluctuations correspond to distress signals. They were trying to communicate something important. Something went horribly wrong." My stomach churned as I absorbed the implications. What had happened to the team sent to Proxima Centauri b? The question haunted me. The atmosphere in the observatory shifted as we gathered more information. Conversations about the mission grew increasingly dark, and whispers of a cover-up began to circulate among the staff. Some of my colleagues speculated that the initial mission had encountered hostile forces, while others feared the possibility of a bioweapon gone awry. Each theory was more chilling than the last. As I absorbed this flood of information, I felt a growing determination to uncover the truth. We needed to prepare for the worst. I donned my gear and volunteered to lead a small team to Proxima Centauri b, convinced that first-hand exploration was our only chance of understanding what had transpired. Dr. Harper hesitated, her instincts torn between caution and the need for answers. "Ethan, you must understand the risks," she cautioned. "If there are hostile entities on that planet, you could be walking into a trap." Her concern resonated with me, yet the urgency of our situation propelled me forward. "We can't leave this unanswered," I insisted, my voice steady. "We owe it to the lost crew to find out what happened." As the preparations began, I felt the pressure mounting. Each piece of equipment we gathered felt like a lifeline, yet the weight of uncertainty loomed over us. I could see the doubts reflected in the faces of my team, but we were bound by a shared resolve. The mission to Proxima Centauri b was no longer just a scientific endeavor. It was a race against time to uncover the truth before it was too late. Despite the growing tension, moments of camaraderie emerged amidst the chaos. We shared stories, laughter, and fears, forging bonds that would carry us through the unknown. Yet, as we prepared to launch, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were stepping into a darkness that could consume us all. The signal had awakened, something deep within the cosmos, and we were about to confront it head-on. As our team prepared for the mission to Proxima Centauri b, tensions simmered beneath the surface. The urgency of our task heightened emotions, and underlying subplots began to emerge. I noticed the growing rift between Dr. Harper and Malik. Their differing views on the mission's risks created a palpable tension. Dr. Harper advocated for a cautious approach, while Malik's optimism about technology's capabilities led him to push for a more aggressive exploration. Their arguments often echoed through the observatory, drawing the attention of the rest of the team. Amidst this conflict, Jenna, our communications officer, became my confidant. She had a quiet strength, and I found solace in her unwavering support. "We can't afford to lose sight of why we're doing this, Ethan," she said one evening, her voice steady. "We're not just explorers, we're protectors of humanity." Her words resonated deeply, reminding me of our responsibility. As the countdown to launch approached, I realized that our relationships would directly influence our success on this harrowing journey. With each passing hour, the pressure mounted. The launch window was closing, and we needed to finalize our plans. I sensed Malik's unease, exacerbated by his unresolved feelings for Jenna. Tension crackled between them, and I worried it could jeopardize our mission. I pulled Malik aside and confronted him. "You need to focus. This isn't just about you or Jenna, it's about everyone's survival." He nodded, his expression shifting from frustration to understanding. Meanwhile, the signal continued to pulse ominously, a constant reminder of the unknown dangers awaiting us. As our preparations intensified, a sense of urgency enveloped the observatory. The clock was ticking, and we were on the brink of something monumental. Each subplot interwove, with the main conflict amplifying the stakes. Our relationships and decisions were not just personal, they had the power to affect the fate of humanity. With our mission looming, we gathered for a final briefing. I felt a mixture of anxiety and determination. The complexities of our situation, the interpersonal dynamics, the weight of responsibility, and the chilling mystery of the signal were all converging. We were on the precipice of the unknown, bound together by our shared purpose. The journey ahead would test us, but I knew we had to confront whatever awaited us on Proxima Centauri B. The moment arrived as we launched toward Proxima Centauri B, anticipation crackling in the air. The ship's engines roared to life, propelling us into the depths of space. As we traveled, I immersed myself in the data, meticulously analyzing the signal. Suddenly, the ship jolted violently, alarms blaring throughout the cabin. "Ethan, we're losing power in the navigation system," Malik shouted, panic evident in his voice. I rushed to the console, heart racing. The ship's systems flickered, and I felt a wave of dread wash over me. In that moment, the signal intensified, transforming from a mere pulse into a chaotic barrage of static and screams. It was as if the very fabric of space was unraveling around us. Then, amidst the chaos, an unexpected revelation struck me. Hidden within the signal was a secondary message, encrypted but unmistakably human. My fingers flew over the controls, decoding the transmission. The realization hit me like a punch. It was a warning about a catastrophic event tied to the original mission. "They weren't just explorers," I murmured. "They were fleeing something." Dr. Harper's face went pale as I relayed the information. "This changes everything," she breathed, her eyes wide with disbelief. The implications were staggering. We were not just venturing into uncharted territory. We were heading straight into a potential nightmare. My emotions churned. Fear, anger, and resolve intertwined as I grappled with the enormity of the situation. "We need to change course," I urged, adrenaline flooding my veins. If they encountered a threat, we could be walking into a trap. The team's reactions varied. Some were hesitant, while others rallied behind me, recognizing the gravity of our predicament. The turning point had arrived, shifting our mission from exploration to survival. The urgency of our situation heightened as we recalibrated our systems and plotted a new trajectory. But this change was no simple solution. It unleashed a cascade of new challenges. Trust within the team began to fray, and the specter of fear loomed larger. We were not merely explorers, we were now prey in a game we did not fully understand. As we prepared for the unknown, I felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on me. The revelation about the previous mission would shape our decisions, and I vowed to protect my team, even as the darkness of uncertainty began to close in around us. The shock of the revelation reverberated through the ship as we recalibrated our mission. The new trajectory took us closer to Proxima Centauri B, but every passing moment felt like a race against an unseen threat. I could sense the tension among the crew, the fragile bonds we had formed now strained by distrust and fear. Dr. Harper's demeanor shifted. The confidence she once exuded was replaced by a palpable anxiety. "What if we're making a mistake?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I could see her weighing the consequences of our choices, the burden of leadership heavy on her shoulders. Malik, too, was affected. His earlier optimism had waned, replaced by a growing sense of foreboding. As we approached the planet, Jenna's resolve shone through. "We can't let fear dictate our actions," she declared, rallying the team. Her words ignited a flicker of hope amidst the chaos, reminding us of our purpose. Yet, even as I clung to that hope, a sense of foreboding lingered. The ship's sensors began to pick up strange readings as we neared the planet's atmosphere. The potential for danger was palpable. Each crew member's reaction revealed their true nature. Some were eager to confront whatever awaited us, others hesitated, second-guessing our mission. The fear that had once united us now threatened to tear us apart. In that moment, I understood the weight of our choices. The journey ahead was no longer just about discovery, it was a fight for survival. As we prepared for descent, I steeled myself for the challenges to come, knowing that the consequences of our actions would shape not only our fates, but the fate of humanity itself. As we descended toward Proxima Centauri b, the weight of our mission pressed heavily on my shoulders. The warning embedded in the signal echoed in my mind, urging us to tread carefully. I felt a mixture of fear and determination. This was no longer just an exploration. It was a fight for survival. Once we landed, the alien landscape stretched before us, a stark contrast to the familiar red sands of Mars. The eerie silence was punctuated by the distant rumble of what seemed to be an active geological formation. The team set out to gather data, but I knew we needed a plan that encompassed both caution and courage. I had to draw on the skills I had developed during our journey, particularly my analytical thinking and leadership abilities. The first challenge arose swiftly. As we ventured deeper into the terrain, our scanners detected anomalies, unusual energy signatures that pulsed with a rhythmic intensity, similar to the signal we had intercepted. Malik looked to me, his expression a mix of awe and apprehension. "What if these are the remnants of the previous mission?" he asked. I could see the fear in his eyes, but I also recognized a shared resolve. "We need to investigate," I replied, my voice steady. "But we'll do it as a team." I divided us into pairs, ensuring that no one would face the unknown alone. Jenna and I headed toward the largest energy source, while Malik teamed up with Dr. Harper. This division allowed us to cover more ground, and I relied on Jenna's expertise in communication to keep us connected. As we approached the anomaly, my heart raced. The energy field shimmered, distorting the air around it. We set up our equipment, and I felt the familiar thrill of discovery coursing through me. But as we began to analyze the data, the ground trembled beneath us. A surge of energy erupted from the anomaly, knocking me off my feet. Jenna quickly grabbed my arm, pulling me back to safety. "Ethan, we need to retreat," she shouted, but my instincts kicked in. "No, we can't leave without understanding this." I realized I was no longer the hesitant researcher I once was. I had grown into a leader who could make tough decisions under pressure. With Jenna's support, I recalibrated our instruments, focusing on the anomaly's patterns. Together we uncovered vital information about the source, an ancient alien technology, perhaps the key to understanding what had happened to the lost mission. I felt a surge of confidence. This was not just about survival, it was about reclaiming our agency in the face of chaos. As we regrouped with the others, I shared our findings. The team's reactions varied, but I saw a flicker of hope in their eyes. We were no longer just a group of scientists. We had become a cohesive unit, forged through adversity. I understood that my growth was intertwined with theirs, and together we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. With newfound determination, we began to prepare for the inevitable confrontation with the unknown forces we sensed on Proxima Centauri b. The energy signatures we had detected were not merely remnants of the past. They hinted at a looming threat that was actively monitoring our movements. Each day brought us closer to a reckoning, and it was time to solidify our plans. The atmosphere in the camp was charged with urgency. We gathered for another briefing, and I stood before my team, the weight of leadership heavy on my shoulders. "We know there's something out there," I began, my voice steady. "Our goal is to understand it, but we must also be ready to defend ourselves." Malik and Dr. Harper had been analyzing the data we collected, and they proposed a plan to create a protective perimeter around our base using the alien technology we had discovered. If we can harness some of its energy, we might be able to shield ourselves from whatever is out there, Malik explained, enthusiasm igniting his eyes. As we worked together, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought us to this point. The bonds we formed had become a lifeline, and I realized that my growth was a reflection of my team's support. We each had our strengths, and I had learned to lean on them, embracing the idea that leadership was about collaboration, not isolation. As we fortified our camp, the tension escalated. Strange noises echoed from the depths of the forest surrounding us, a constant reminder that we were not alone. Jenna, who had been monitoring communications, reported that the signal had intensified, almost as if it were alive. "It's like it's calling to us," she said, her brow furrowed with concern. "Or warning us," I added, feeling a chill run down my spine. The sense of urgency grew. We had to act quickly. I divided the team into two groups, one to continue, reinforcing our defenses, and another to venture deeper into the anomaly's energy field. We needed to understand what we were up against, and the clock was ticking. As the night fell, shadows danced around us, and the air crackled with anticipation. I gathered everyone together for one last pep talk, drawing from the strength we had. Built as a team. "We've faced so much already," I said, my voice resonating with conviction. "No matter what happens, we will face it together." The team nodded in agreement, our resolve solidifying. As we prepared for the next day, I felt a surge of hope mixed with trepidation. The culmination of our journey was drawing near, and I knew that whatever awaited us would test not only our skills, but our very souls. The following day dawned ominously, a thick mist enveloping the landscape as we approached the anomaly. My heart pounded in my chest, a mix of fear and adrenaline surging through me. This was it. The moment we had been preparing for was finally here. As we neared the energy source, the air vibrated with a low hum, the ground trembling beneath us. The anomaly pulsated with a menacing light, and I could see shadows shifting within. "Stay close," I instructed, my voice steady despite the turmoil raging inside me. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist, an alien entity, its form shimmering and indistinct. Panic rippled through my team, but I raised my hand to signal calm. "We need to understand it," I urged, recalling the insights we had gleaned from the signal. This creature might hold the key to the lost mission. The entity seemed to respond to my words, its form coalescing into a more defined shape. I took a deep breath, stepping forward. "We come in peace. We seek understanding." As I spoke, I felt the weight of my team's gaze, their faith in me, buoying my resolve. In that moment, the creature unleashed a wave of energy, and I felt its power wash over us. I staggered back, but Jenna caught my arm. "Ethan, hold on!" she shouted, her determination igniting my own. We had come too far to back down now. The energy surged, and I focused on the technology we had harnessed from the alien device. "Activate the shields," I commanded. In unison, my team sprang into action, channeling the energy to create a protective barrier around us. The moment hung in the balance as the entity unleashed another wave. The air crackled with tension, and I could feel the outcome teetering on a precipice. We had to hold our ground. As the energy collided with our shields, the force was immense, but we stood firm, united. In that instant, clarity struck me. Our growth had prepared us for this moment. It was our unity, our collective strength, that would determine the outcome. As the waves of energy clashed, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, we would confront whatever challenges lay ahead, and I was ready to lead them into the unknown. As the energy dissipated, the alien entity vanished, leaving us breathless, but unharmed. We stood together, united in our victory, the bond forged through adversity evident in our expressions. Dr. Harper, now filled with renewed purpose, vowed to share our findings with the world. Malik and Jenna exchanged relieved smiles, their earlier tensions forgotten. I felt a profound sense of growth, no longer just an observer, but a leader ready to face the future. We had uncovered the truth of Proxima Centauri b, and its mysteries would drive our next endeavors as guardians of humanity's legacy. Months later, Earth buzzed with news of our discovery. The knowledge we brought back reshaped scientific understanding and sparked a new era of exploration. Dr. Harper led initiatives to study the alien technology, while Malik and Jenna worked on diplomatic efforts to ensure peaceful coexistence with any extraterrestrial life. I stood before a crowd, sharing our journey, feeling a mix of pride and humility. The universe was vast and full of secrets, but now we approached it with a sense of responsibility. As I gazed at the stars, I knew our adventures were just beginning, and the cosmos awaited our next steps. What did you think of Ethan and his team's incredible journey through the mysteries of Proxima Centauri b? We'd love to hear your thoughts and interpretations. Share your insights on the challenges they faced and the bonds they forged. If you enjoyed this story, don't miss our next adventure, where we explore a newly discovered planet with ancient ruins and untold secrets. Click now to dive into a tale that promises to expand on themes of exploration and unity. Join us as we continue to unravel the wonders of the universe together.